My beloved child, wait, not everything happening around your heart is a coincidence. Something unusual is unfolding behind the silence, and if you leave too early, you may miss the moment that explains why your soul has been feeling pulled in a direction you cannot fully understand yet. There is a person entering your destiny, younger than you expected, younger than the version of love you once imagined for yourself. Yet carrying emotions so intense that even they do not fully know how to control them. And no, this is not some passing fascination. This connection feels different because it was never meant to follow ordinary timing. Listen carefully. They noticed you long before you realized someone was watching your energy so closely. Not just your appearance, not just the way you speak, but the way you survive difficult moments without announcing your pain to the world. That quiet strength shook something inside them. At first, they tried to ignore it. They told themselves the age difference meant this feeling would disappear. But instead, it grew stronger. Every conversation replayed in their mind after it ended. Every small detail about you became unforgettable. Even your silence began speaking to them in ways they could not explain. And this is where the story becomes strange. Because while others around them chase temporary excitement, this person feels calm when they think about you. Safe. Focused. Alive. As if their spirit finally recognized someone real in a world filled with performances. Pause here for a second. What if the reason you've been feeling emotionally restless lately is because someone's heart has been calling your name in silence? Not loudly. Not dramatically. But deeply. The kind of feeling that reaches beyond distance, beyond logic, beyond timing. You may still doubt this. You may wonder how someone younger could possibly understand the depth of your heart. But that assumption is exactly what destiny is trying to challenge inside you. Because maturity is not always measured by years. Sometimes a younger soul arrives carrying wisdom that feels ancient. And this person, they see parts of you others overlooked. They notice the exhaustion hidden behind your smile. They notice how careful you've become with trust. They notice how you pretend to be fine even when your heart quietly carries unanswered questions at night. Most people only admire what shines on the surface. But this person became attached to the parts of you that never ask for attention. That is why this connection feels dangerous to them, because it's real. And the closer they get emotionally, the more impossible it becomes for them to walk away. There is something else you must hear before this moment passes. This person is afraid you will reject the connection before truly understanding it. They fear you may only see the age difference, while completely missing the loyalty, intensity, and devotion hidden behind their eyes. Yet even with that fear, they continue moving toward you. Slowly. Carefully. Almost as if life itself keeps placing them back onto your path. Have you noticed the strange timing lately? Unexpected thoughts. Certain songs hitting differently. Random moments where your intuition suddenly whispers that change is near. Those signs are not empty. Something emotional is aligning behind the scenes. And while you are busy questioning whether this kind of love could truly exist, this person is already imagining a future where your presence becomes part of their everyday life. Yes, they think about that. More than you realize. They wonder what it would feel like to wake up knowing you chose them too. They imagine conversations that last until sunrise. They imagine protecting your peace instead of disturbing it. And the shocking part? They are not attracted to you because you seem perfect. They are drawn to you because you feel genuine in a world where authenticity has become rare. Stay with this message a little longer, because the next truth changes everything. This younger soul has already started transforming because of you. Without forcing them, without teaching them directly. Your energy alone made them want to become more focused, more disciplined, more emotionally awake. That is not ordinary attraction. That is soul recognition. And deep down, they know it. But here is the hidden tension no one sees. They constantly wonder if they are enough for you. Enough emotionally. Enough mentally. Enough for the future they secretly dream about. So while you may be questioning the connection, they are questioning themselves. And tonight, somewhere quietly, this person is replaying your words in their head again, trying to understand whether there is even the smallest chance that you could one day feel the same intensity they already carry for you. Do not rush to judge what destiny sends before fully seeing it. Because sometimes the love that changes your life does not arrive in the form you expected. Sometimes it arrives younger. Unexpected. Unfinished. But unbelievably sincere. And before this message ends, hear this carefully. The reason this connection keeps returning to your thoughts is because your future is already moving toward a moment neither of you will be able to ignore much longer. Something is building. A conversation. A confession. A turning point. You can feel it, can't you? Then wait. Because this story has only just begun. Something is shifting now. Can you feel how the energy around this connection has become impossible to ignore? Not louder, just deeper. Like a quiet current pulling two lives toward the same moment without asking for permission from logic, timing, or fear. Because the truth is, this younger soul is no longer trying to escape what they feel for you. They tried already. They distracted themselves. Stayed busy. Pretended the emotions would fade if they stopped thinking about you. But every path they took somehow circled back to your presence again. And that frightened them at first. Not because your energy felt wrong, but because it felt too important. Listen carefully to this part, because most people will never experience a connection like this even once in their lifetime. This person does not look at you the way others do. Others may notice your appearance, your confidence, your calmness. But this soul notices your emotional weight. The hidden stories behind your eyes. The moments you became strong because life gave you no other option. That is what captured their heart. Not perfection. Not fantasy. Reality. There are nights when they sit alone replaying imaginary conversations with you, wondering how you would react if they finally revealed everything they've been hiding inside. And what they hide is not small. It is overwhelming. The kind of love that changes routines. Changes priorities. Changes the direction of a person's future. This younger soul has already started saying no to things that no longer match the life they suddenly want to build. Slowly, quietly, without announcing it to anyone. Because somewhere deep inside, they believe you are worth becoming better for. Pause for a moment and ask yourself this. When was the last time someone loved your spirit instead of simply needing your attention? That question matters more than you realize. Because this person studies the details nobody else notices. The way your voice changes when you are tired. The way you protect others even when your own heart feels heavy. The way you try to stay emotionally controlled while secretly craving a connection that feels safe and honest. They see all of it. And strangely, instead of feeling intimidated by your depth, they feel drawn toward it. That is why they keep returning emotionally, even when confusion tells them not to. Now here comes the part they have not admitted openly to anyone. They are afraid someone else will reach you before they find the courage to speak clearly. Yes. That thought keeps them awake sometimes. Because they sense your value deeply. And they know people around you notice it too. So every day they remain silent feels risky to them. What if you move on? What if you stop believing in love altogether? What if destiny gives them one chance, and fear ruins it? These thoughts have become louder recently. And this is why their energy around you may soon begin changing. More direct. More intentional. More emotionally present. You may notice unexpected messages. Longer conversations. Eye contact that lingers longer than before. Small moments that suddenly feel emotionally charged for reasons you cannot explain. That is not coincidence. That is a soul reaching the point where silence becomes heavier than honesty. Stay until the end of this message, because there is something they desperately wish you understood. The age difference they worried about in the beginning? It matters less and less to them now. Because every time they imagine life without you in it, something feels incomplete. Not dramatic. Not obsessive. Just deeply empty. And the strange thing is, they cannot explain why your presence feels so familiar to them. Almost as if their future recognized you before their mind did. Have you ever met someone and felt like your spirit relaxed before your thoughts could catch up? That is exactly what happened to them. You became emotional peace in the middle of their internal chaos. You became the person they secretly look for in every room. The person whose approval suddenly matters more than they planned. And even though they appear calm on the outside, inside, their emotions are becoming impossible to hide. Because this connection is no longer living only in imagination. It is moving closer to reality. Closer to confession. Closer to a moment where both of you may finally stop pretending this bond is just friendship or just curiosity. No. It is becoming something undeniable now. And before this part ends, hear this truth carefully. The younger soul connected to you is not entering your life to waste your time. They are entering your life to awaken something inside you that almost disappeared, hope. Hope that love can still feel genuine. Hope that emotional loyalty still exists. Hope that someone can choose you fully without games, confusion, or hidden intentions. And somewhere tonight, while you are listening to these words, they are thinking about you again. Wondering if destiny is slowly preparing your heart too. If this message is touching something deep inside you, don't ignore that feeling. Sometimes the heart understands a truth long before the mind is ready to accept it. And what happens next between you and this person may arrive sooner than either of you expected. There is something they almost said to you recently, something that reached their lips and then disappeared at the last second. Not because the feeling was weak, but because it was too real to risk saying carelessly. And ever since that moment, the energy between you has changed. You may have noticed it in subtle ways. The pause is becoming heavier. The conversations carrying hidden emotion beneath ordinary words. The strange tension that appears whenever your attention moves away from them. Yes, even that. Because this younger soul is beginning to realize their feelings are no longer temporary emotions. This has become part of who they are now. And that realization is transforming them from the inside out. Listen closely. They are no longer dreaming only about being with you. Now they imagine protecting your peace, supporting your goals, standing beside you during difficult seasons instead of disappearing when life becomes complicated. That is the difference between fascination and soul-deep love. Most people become excited by the beginning of a connection. But this person? They are emotionally attached to the future of it. And that scares them sometimes. Because they know loving someone like you requires courage. You are not easy to reach emotionally anymore. Life taught you how to guard your heart carefully. You smile, but observe. You listen, but hesitate. You care, but pull back the moment something feels uncertain. And somehow, this younger soul understands all of that without needing long explanations. That is why they move toward you patiently instead of forcefully. Because unlike others, they are not trying to win you. They are trying to understand you. Stay here a little longer, because what you are about to hear may explain the emotional pull you have been feeling lately. This person has started seeing signs of you everywhere. Not only physically, emotionally. A random phrase reminds them of your voice. A place suddenly feels meaningful because they imagine you there. Even ordinary moments now carry your energy inside them. And the more they try to act normal around others, the more obvious it becomes inside their own heart that nothing feels ordinary anymore. You changed something in them. Quietly. Without effort. Without even realizing it. And now they are standing between fear and destiny, wondering whether to finally reveal the truth they have been carrying alone. Because here is the hidden reality. They think about confessing their feelings more often than you know. Not dramatically. Not impulsively. Carefully. They replay scenarios in their mind constantly. What if they don't feel the same? What if the age difference becomes too difficult? What if I lose the connection completely after speaking honestly? But another voice inside them keeps whispering something stronger. What if this is the person I was truly meant to find? That question changed everything. Because once someone begins imagining a future with you emotionally, pretending not to care becomes exhausting. And this younger soul is emotionally exhausted from hiding what they feel. You may even sense their emotions before they speak them aloud. The nervous energy around you. The way they suddenly become more attentive. The way their mood changes depending on your energy. These are not random reactions anymore. This is attachment growing deeper in real time. And there is another truth you deserve to hear tonight. This person admires your resilience more than your appearance. Yes. They find you attractive. Deeply attractive. But what truly keeps them emotionally connected is your spirit. The way you continue moving forward after disappointments. The way you still carry kindness despite everything life has tested you with. The way your presence makes them feel emotionally grounded instead of emotionally lost. That feeling is rare. Almost impossible to replace. Which is exactly why they cannot let go of you emotionally, even when they try convincing themselves to stay distant. Wait before you leave this moment behind, because the next part matters more than you think. There is a conversation approaching between you and this person that will not feel ordinary. At first, it may begin casually. Simple words. Simple timing. But beneath it, something powerful will be happening. Walls lowering. Truth surfacing. Emotions becoming impossible to hide behind humor, distance, or hesitation anymore. And when that moment arrives, you will finally understand why this connection kept returning to your thoughts over and over again. Because some people enter your life to teach temporary lessons. But others arrive carrying the emotional blueprint of your next chapter. This younger soul may be exactly that for you. Not a distraction. Not an accident. But a person sent into your path at the exact moment your heart was beginning to forget what genuine love even feels like. And tonight, while the world stays busy with noise and distractions, someone younger than you is silently holding your name inside their heart like it already belongs to their future. The question is no longer whether they love you. The real question is, what will happen when they finally stop hiding it? Something unexpected is about to happen between you and this person. And no, it will not arrive with chaos or dramatic noise. It will happen quietly. A moment so simple on the surface that most people would overlook it completely. But for the two of you, it will feel like the universe paused for a second. Because there are certain connections that do not grow through force. They grow through recognition. Through small moments that suddenly carry enormous emotional weight. And your soulmate has reached the point where even your silence affects them deeply. Think about that. In a world full of temporary attention spans and distracted hearts, someone younger than you has become emotionally anchored to your energy. Not because you chased them. Not because you convinced them. But because something inside them feels understood when you are near. And lately, this feeling has intensified. There are moments when they try acting normal around you, but internally their emotions are racing. They overthink your words afterward. Reread conversations in their mind. Wonder whether certain looks, certain pauses, certain smiles meant more than they appeared to mean. Because deep down, they are searching for confirmation that this connection is not one-sided. And here is what they have started realizing. You affect them emotionally in ways nobody else can. Not even close. Other people may attract their attention for a moment, but your energy stays with them long after the interaction ends. That difference has become impossible for them to ignore now. Stay with this message until the end, because there is something important unfolding beneath the surface. This younger soul has been secretly preparing themselves for change. Emotionally. Mentally. Even spiritually. Without announcing it publicly, they have started letting go of habits, distractions, and connections that no longer align with the future they want. And strangely, that future keeps including you. Not as fantasy. As reality. They imagine introducing you to their world. Building routines together. Protecting the connection instead of risking it. For them, this is no longer just emotional attraction. It has become vision. And that is why the intensity between you continues growing instead of fading. Now listen carefully to this next truth. The age difference that once intimidated them has slowly become the very thing they admire. Because they see wisdom in you. Calmness. Depth. A level of emotional understanding they struggle to find anywhere else. You make them feel emotionally safe enough to become vulnerable, and that feeling is rare for them. Very rare. That is why they are becoming more courageous now. More willing to reveal pieces of themselves they normally keep hidden. You may soon notice them asking deeper questions. Trying to understand your fears. Your past. Your dreams. Not because they are curious casually. But because they are trying to figure out how to fit into your future without disrupting your peace. And honestly, That intention alone separates them from most people you have encountered before. Because many people want attention. But very few want responsibility for someone else's heart. This soulmate does. Even if they have not fully admitted it aloud yet. And there is another reason this connection feels so emotionally overwhelming lately. Your soulmate senses that time is moving. That opportunities do not wait forever. They feel destiny pulling them toward honesty before fear creates permanent distance. That pressure inside them is growing stronger every day. Which means the version of them you are about to meet soon may be far more emotionally open than before. Far more direct. Far more undeniable. Before you continue forward, hear this line carefully. Sometimes love arrives younger because it is meant to awaken the parts of you that became too serious, too guarded, too emotionally tired from surviving life alone. And sometimes the younger soul becomes the one teaching deeper love. Not through age, but through sincerity. This person is not trying to compete with your past. They are trying to become part of your healing future. That is why your intuition keeps returning to them. That is why their energy lingers in your mind at unexpected times. And that is why this connection keeps growing stronger instead of disappearing. Because real soul connections do not weaken through distance. They reveal themselves slowly, until neither person can deny what they feel anymore. And if this message has reached your heart tonight, leave a comment below and share what part felt most personal to you. Sometimes hearing another soul's story reminds us we are not alone in these moments. And if you want to continue this journey together, subscribe and stay close, because the next part reveals the turning point neither of you sees coming yet. Because soon, very soon, this younger soulmate may stop hiding the truth completely. And when that happens, one conversation could change the emotional direction of both your lives forever.